Hello guys, in this project we will discuss about fake news prediction using Python, and the model we will use is logistic regression. So in this project we will use textual data. Let's understand the workflow we are going to follow. First is the collection of data. So we need to collect this news data. This dataset is a labeled dataset. It consists of several and thousands of news articles, and it will be labeled as either it is real news or fake news. It also contains other details such as author of that particular news, the title of the news, etc. So once we have this dataset, we need to process this data. So there is lot of work that needs to be done in the pre-processing step when compared to the numerical data set, because computer and the system doesn't understand text or character data. It only understands the numerical data. They just understand the numbers, like numerical data or the numbers. So we need to find some suitable way to convert this text present in the news to meaningful number that the machine can understand. So we perform various functions in this data pre-processing steps. Once we convert this text into a meaningful number, we need to split the dataset into training and test data. So this is the same thing we do in most of our machine learning projects. We feed this training data, which is pre-processed, to our logistic regression model. This is a binary classification model. That is, we are going to classify the result into two types, that is real or fake. So when it's come to binary classification problem, logistic regression is always the best. And once we train the logistic regression model, we get a trained model. So we will do some evaluation on this model, find its accuracy score using test data. So new data is fed into trained logistic regression model. We can predict whether the news is real and fake. So this is the workflow. Let's get started with the coding part. So we will be coding. We will be doing our coding in Google Colab. So here we have I have uploaded the data set from Kaggle. You can see this is the data set. The link I will provide in my description box. So you can see there are 5 columns, that is ID, title, author, text, and label. So ID, unique ID for the news article. Title is the title of the news article, author of the news article, and the text of the article. Label indicates whether it is real or fake, unreliable or unreliable. So you will download this training data, as it is a large data. So I have already uploaded in my Google Colab. You just have to right click on this portion and upload. You first download this from the Kaggle website, this train CSV, and then upload here. So there are 5 columns in the data set. So ID, title, author, text, and label. So let's start with the coding part. So first we will import our dependency. So first we will import NumPy. So the dependency are nothing but the labels and function which we will be needing in our code. So first we will import NumPy. It is used to create NumPy arrays, and pandas as PD. So this is used to create a data frames which will convert our CSV data into a structured format, table structured format data. So generally, for processing a data set, it is more easy to process a data frame, or it is easy to process a structured data in the form of table rather than processing a CSV file. So we will convert it into a structured table format with this PD pandas data frame. So then we will import RE, that is our regular expression. So these are very useful for searching the text in a document. So then we will import from an NLTK corpus import stop words. Stop words are those words which doesn't add much values to a paragraph or text. So NLTK is a natural language toolkit library. So from there we will import stop words. So then we will import from NLTK stem.potter, import potter stemmer. So this is used to perform a function called stemming function, which we will be using in upcoming video. So then we will import from sklearn.feature extraction .text import TF-ID vectorizer. It is used TF-ID vectorizer is used to convert text into feature vector or numbers. So then we will be importing model selection, that is our train split, and then our logistic regression model, and finally our accuracy score for testing our model. So here the corpus means the body of a particular text, that is the important content of the text that is known as the corpus. So once our importing is done, then again we have to import another thing, that is import NLTK dot downloads. You have to download all the stop words present in this NLTK library. So we need to download a stop word from NLTK library. So we are using this command. So let's run it. We can see that the download process has been done. So it is returning true. That means our process has been successful. Downloading process has been successful. So now we will print the stop words in our next step. And we will print the stop word in English. So we have to mention it. So you can see that these are the stop word: I, me, myself, you are, you have, you will. These actually these words doesn't add value to our data set. So during stemming procedure, we will remove all these stop words. So now we will load our data set into pandas data frame. So we have stored our data here. So let's click on this dot and copy the path and paste it. So we have so now we have successfully loaded our dataset into this new dataset. So now we will check the shape. Check the shape dot shape. So it returns number of rows and columns. So we can see that there are 20800 rows and 5 columns. So we will then now print the first 5 rows of the data frame. So you can see that there are 5 column: ID, title, author, text, and label. So these are the first 5 rows of the data frame. So we will then start with counting the numbers of missing values in the data sets. So let's proceed. Dot is null. So and here you can see that there are 558 missing value in the title, or and author 1957, and text 39 and 39 of them are missing. So we will do that some data pre-processing step. That is, we will replace the null values with empty strings. Dot fill NA. So we will replace all the null values with empty string. Then now we will merge the author name and title, because these two only we will be using in our data set for processing our data set, that is to fit in a model. So for our prediction, we will use only the author name and news title. Content. Author. So for our prediction, we are going to include the title and author column. So we will combine the title and author column together, and this is the data we are going to use for prediction. We are not going to use the text because these texts are so large that it can be a huge paragraph and it takes a lot of time for processing. So I am going to use this title and author column for processing, and we will store in a new column called content. So we will now print our content column. Print. So the content column is as shown. So now we will separate the data and the label. So in X column, we will drop that label column, and in Y column, we will store the in Y variable, we will store the label, and in X variable, we will drop the label column and store the rest of the column. So now we'll see what our X and Y value are. You can see the X and Y values. So now we will use a stemming function. So stemming is a process of reducing a word into its root word. Like example, if you're taking actor, actress, acting, so it will be reduced to act, act. So let's start with the stemming procedure. Fourth stem. So here exactly we are creating a function named as stemming. So the content depends input we are going to give it. So if we give a particular text inside this stemming function, it will do all the processing that we have mentioned there. That is in the first step, we are calling a regular expression library. It is useful for searching a paragraph for text. Sub means substitute of certain values, and this symbol means exclusion, that is exclusion of alphabets, that is from small a to 0 and capital A to 0. So we just want alphabet, we just want alphabet. It removes everything that is not having alphabet. So for all this, word prefix and suffix will be removed, and the main root of the word will be captured. So this is what we will be doing in case of stemming. This is very important step because we need to reduce the word as much as possible for better performance of our model. So, and this is the function we will create, a stemming function, and let's proceed. So in this step, we will apply stemming. So it will take a minute or two because it will be processing a lot of words. So once we do this procedure of reducing to its accurate root word, we will perform the function of vectorizing. In the vectorizing step, we will convert these words to their respective feature vectors. Feature vectors are basically numerical data. So once we convert it into a numerical data, we can feed it to into our machine learning model. So it's done. So now we will print our content column. So here we don't have uppercase letters, stop words are removed, all words are root words. So now we will separate the data in the label. We'll store the content in X variable and the label column in Y variable. We'll see print the value of X. So you can see the all X values are stored in the X variable. Then we will see what Y value contains, Y variable contains. So these are the label columns. So how many labels are there? Let's check. So there are 20800 labels. So now we will start converting the textual data to numerical data. So for that we will use vectorizer. So this actually before that these values are in textual format. So this value is still in textual format. Computer cannot understand it, the text. So we will convert it into textual data to numerical data. So for that we will use that this TF-IDF TF-IDF vectorizer. So and that is term frequency inverse document frequency vectorizer. So TF basically counts the number of times a particular word is repeating in a document or text or paragraph. Repetition tells that it is an important word and it assigns a particular numerical value to that. So this IDF IDF is sometimes a word is repeated several times which doesn't have any meaning. So for example, in a Spider-Man movie review, there are either positive review or negative review, but the repetition of the word Spider-Man doesn't add value to any positive comment or negative comment or positive review or negative review. So we have to remove also this kind of words from our text. So first we let's summarize what we have done. That first we have removed all other things except for alphabets and words and numbers, and all the quotation mark will be replaced by space. And second, we have converted all those to lowercase. Third, we have split it into respective list. And the fourth step we have done is taking each word and we are doing this stemming function and removing the stop words. Then we have done and we have joined all the words. Then in sixth step we have returned the process text with a which is a stem content. So now let's check the value of X. So you can see before it was only text. Now it is converted to respective feature vector based on TF-IDF vectorizer. So this is how you can convert text into a number that the system can understand. We need to feed this data to our machine learning model. So for that, we'll start splitting the dataset into training and test data. And text split, we'll pass the value of x, y, text size will be 0.2, stratify equal to y, and random state equal to 2. Sorry, text underscore size. So text underscore size is at like 0.2, that is that 20% of the data will be used for as a text data and remaining 80% will be used for training. And stratify equal to y, it is used to segregate real news and fake news in equal proportion in our training and test data. So we have used stratify equal to y. And random state equal to 2, random state actually it reproduces the code. So like data will be split in the same way in your case also, in my case also. So we have fixed our random state as 2. So now we will start training our model using logistic regression. We'll fit our model. Training data set has been fit in our logistic regression model. So now we'll check our accuracy score on training data. So X. So now in this way, we will check the accuracy score of the training data. So now we will print that accuracy score of the training data. So our accuracy score is coming out to be 98%. So which is quite good. So now let's check our accuracy score on text data. I'll just copy it. We'll change the train into test. So now we'll print our text accuracy. So you can see that and our test accuracy is 97.9%. So it's quite good. So now let's make a predictive system. We'll randomly choose like any value, like let's say take 3. Third number of row data set. Predict. We will print out prediction. We'll put a condition like to distinguish between the real and the fake if prediction zero and print the news is real, else print news is fake. So let's say, so it's showing that the news is real. So we will cross check. So that's all from my side. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you.